You are now listening to Out of the Blank.
Welcome to another episode of Out of the Blank podcast. I'm here with Joshua Williams.
Boom.
Boom. Josh, tell me a little bit about yourself and what do you do professionally?
Sure thing. My name's Josh Williams. I'm 31 years old, live in Vancouver, and I enjoy long walks on the beach. I'm just looking for love. No, I currently work two jobs. I'm a medical claims processor for the Veteran Affairs. Exciting. Pays the bills though, so I can't complain.
I'm going to have to rethink my intro now that you just did that because I'm starting to think like I make it sign up perfectly like farmersmeat.com.
Hey, everyone needs a little something. And when you're working out in those fields all day, it's hard.
Exactly, right? You're just looking for love and looking for a tractor.
I gotta love my tractor though,
So when it comes to the medical benefits thing, like what exactly do you do in there?
Well, let's see, like a veteran, he goes to a hospital. You mainly, it's because an emergency situation is what we deal with. And we look over the claim and that was sent from whatever hospital if they didn't go to a VA hospital. And we just kind of check to see which boxes have been filled. What does it actually count as something that we would cover? Because the Veteran Affairs, a lot of people think it's an insurance company. We're not an insurance company. We provide secondary benefits after your insurance is already covered whatever portion. So we just kind of go through the list and check to see if they actually are covered. If they're not, then we kind of have to reject it and be like, sorry, but it doesn't fall into what we do.
Do you find that this industry is kind of helping out a lot more where we used to see like when people used to come back from war, they were just totally kind of neglected too? I know that's like a deep subject, but I mean,
Yeah, no.
I know so many people that are like, my dad was an alcoholic because he had PTSD or he had something from the war. And it was like, yeah, when they came back, we didn't do shit. I mean, I know we didn't really know what it was and we just knew that they suffered from something, but a lot of them slipped through the cracks.
Oh, yeah. No, I did a lot of projects on this. And a lot of stuff that happens is because kind of during like the Korean and Vietnam War, there was a lot of public outcry because of it. So it wasn't just like the government; it was like all the people made all the service members returning. They made them feel like shit. They were just like, "Oh, you're fighting in a senseless war and you're killing all these people for no reason." So it made them become more internalized to want to drink more or go associate more with drugs and thinking that they don't need help type of situation because of the public backlash that came with it. And the government kind of was just like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you. You're fine. Go walk it off. It has gotten better, but there is still a lot of problems with the system.
Well, the craziest thing is the fact is when you come back from war or something and you suffer from like severe depression, you suffer from PTSD, and you suffer from all these things that we're starting to find out a lot more now and starting to do at least a little bit more to help provide. You were abandoned when you came back, all those generations of people that came back and they were just left to deal with their own problems with not a lot of help unless you got like your leg blown off or something that was completely physical, but no one ever looked at the emotional scarring that went down behind it. I know so many people that talk of stories of how like, their family would just freak out, lock themselves in their rooms because they couldn't adjust to just being back from war. I mean, it's like watching a scary movie. Look, I've seen tarantulas when I was like 12.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Yeah. That movie will fuck you up for a long time. My mom said, "Are you going to get nightmares from watching this?" I said, "No, I'll be fine. Spiders don't scare me." I did not sleep for like the next 2 weeks after I saw that movie.
Spiders are the worst.
She had to get
Hate
me
them all.
Ben and Jerry's ice cream just to be able to calm me down.
Damn. A special treat.
Exactly. Fish food is what they called it. I don't know. It doesn't sound delicious, but trust me, when you have fudge mixed with chocolate fish, it is pretty damn good.
Hey, I'm not going to knock it.
What do you see kind of being the main prevalence of stuff you come across just with veterans in general? It seems like probably a lot of it would have to be with addiction.
Yeah, it's being a veteran myself, I've gotten to see a lot of stuff firsthand. And I'm from the Marines, and they tell you, push past the pain. Pain is weakness leaving the body. So they have you a mentality of, you know, uh, just kind of push through everything. Don't seek outside help. Deal with it yourself. Just kind of put it in the back of your head, and a lot of that gets carried over after they get out. That they've been like it's been ingrained into their head that they've been pushed to that they want to not seek help, and so they try to seek it elsewhere by going by themselves, get into these bouts of depression that doesn't help in any way possible. And
It's hard to kind of push stuff back into your head if the problem is in your head.
exactly, so they a lot we see a lot of self-medication, which is not good for anyone. uh, and they kind of become this whole like stubbornness of not wanting to seek help, like that. Oh, I'm fine, I don't need to seek help, I'm good. It's like no, you got people that care about you and they want you to seek help, but it's just hard for them to see that they need help through that whole process.
Do you think that this is going to be a little bit more of like a beneficial thing to veterans? It seems like even though, when they finally do get help, like how many times are they actually getting every single benefit that they need? Because we still barely understand anything about PTSD or mental health in general.
No, I agree. The VA system is not perfect, not in any way possible. Um, and some of the services we provide don't match what a veteran needs, because not every veteran is the same. And there are certain people that they do try their best to help out a veteran, giving him, informing of all the options, but a veteran has to come seek them first, and it's hard to find out on your own what exactly is available to you. I didn't. I didn't know anything until like I joined in, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, you can do this, this, and this." I'm like, "Why isn't this openly available to everyone and accessible?" Because this is some like great information and some like activities and programs that are just readily available to veterans that they're just not out seeking.
And even if it is readily available or opened, a lot of them wouldn't go seek it because they still live in that mentality that, like,
Exactly.
when I get sick, I don't want to tell anybody I'm sick. I don't want anybody to know I'm in pain. I don't want anybody babying me. But when you start doing that, it takes out your sense of pride. You feel broken. You feel weak.
Oh, exactly. No, when I get sick, everyone knows I'm sick. I've become useless to society, and don't even bother talking to me or coming to reach me. I'm just dead to the world when I'm sick. So
Oh, shit. Josh is throwing up again.
hey, I will let you know. All right, I'm throwing up. You better stay the fuck away from me, because you're gonna throw up when I throw up. So I'm saving the world. I'm announcing it so that's to save them from my sickness.
Where do you kind of see like one of your most memorable things that you've done just doing this line of work in general?
Oh man, there was one time a a veteran was in Alaska, and they didn't have the proper medical staff where he was, so they had to fly him from Alaska to, I believe, OHSU, which is out in Portland, and that bill alone was uh, close to 500,000 just for the flight, just to fly him out there, and then whatever the procedure was, I can't go too much into that
Are
one.
we talking Southwest?
Like the airline Southwest?
Yeah.
No, no, they had to take like a full on like medical plane that
Damn, he didn't even get a movie or anything.
Nah, he's probably knocked out. That dude was pretty messed up. But yeah, I think his overall bill, including all of his surgeries, was close to $2 million.
Fuck.
And I had we were myself and my team, we were trying so hard to make sure that he doesn't get put into collections for $2 million. We were able to get it paid. All I think he only had to pay was like $1,000, just like to cover some like copay type of stuff. And yeah, just the knowing that that's not another veteran that's kind of getting screwed by the system and helping him out, because they were also like a Vietnam vet. I think I had to do something with Agent Orange. So we've only recently started kind of accepting that Agent Orange was a thing that we're willing to help out.
Yeah.
So
It's crazy to see too how above and beyond someone like yourself can go to help somebody get like the benefits and the actual stuff that they need while trying not to make them go bankrupt. I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't had medical insurance in a long time, and I was getting it recently set back up because I got sick and had to go to the ER.
Oh
And
shit.
as I'm in the ER and everything, I'm like, damn, this bill's gonna charge. They're trying to do all these tests. I'm like, no, 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 just get me out of here. Get me out of here. I'm good. I'll wait till my insurance kicks in a month. And I went to the insurance lady. I was like, they're charging me this much money, and I don't know what to do. And she sat me down and she filed everything out in the computer for me. And she goes, here you go. I'm like, what? She goes, you're going to call this number and tell them you're going to backdate your insurance. I'm like, what? And I had no idea what this was. And she's like, you know how many people try and, deal with this thing and they get piled and piled and piled with bills and they feel like they're surrounded and don't know what to do because they're just getting bill after bill after bill. And I was like, I don't, this is scaring me. And she's like, well, I'm going to help you out like this because it's really easy to navigate, but for someone that doesn't know anything about the medical industry, you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, exactly. It's confusing. Medical like jargon is confusing as all heck.
You would think that if we are trying to provide help and do all this for all these people, why wouldn't it be so much easier? But the whole money aspect comes into play.
Yes, money is always the baseline to anything in this world.
What would you say the biggest problems that you could think of that you could fix just with the industry in general?
Oh, it's communication. Like that's the biggest thing. I'm currently fighting higher ups because of lack of communication, and it's the higher ups, like higher ups. They don't consult with people on the ground floor doing all the work, and so like, oh, this new process is gonna be great. It's gonna save us so much time, and then we get there, and now we're like, well, we can't. The system's broken, and we can't work for a month. So we're going to be behind in all of our work because you think this new implication is going to be great, and it's not. And it's not. Doesn't affect us. It's affecting the veteran seeking services because at the end of the day, we're always going to have work, job security, and all that good stuff. But it's not about us. It's about the people we're trying to like help, trying to fix. So when you're trying to do these new things, yeah, sure. Paper sounds great, sounds amazing. In practice, it's horrible. So the idea that the higher ups aren't communicating with anyone else but themselves is really kind of throwing a wrench in all of the services.
Even being surrounded by this too, how do you try and stay positive too? Like keep motivated. Like you're just by talking to you, like you're a fun guy. I can tell you have this.
Oh, well, thank you. Oh, I try to be.
You're blushing, I know,
Oh,
but
you.
you have this kind of like overall like good connection where you can talk to a lot of people that are around this a lot of the time and they just sit there like a wet towel. They're
Yeah.
drained because of how much stress it is. Like
hmm
how do you come back from something just experiencing a lot of what you're trying to deal with and trying to help so many people and knowing so much about someone that's going through like maybe they're going through severe PTSD or maybe they're going through addiction, like you're around that.
Yeah, it's. I've had a lot of people I've served with. They've had a problem where they're not getting the proper services from the VA or you know they weren't get okay, come on, little man, they weren't getting the help they needed, and they ultimately took their own life. Probably lost like 3 or 4 guys to that, and so just not letting it get me down, that knowing that if I can try to help in any way to prevent someone from losing someone because of our services, that's just kind of the only thing that's really kind of keeping me going, knowing that every day I'm taking a step further into helping another veteran stay in the lives of their family members. So it's kind of like, even though it's like a lot of like depressing stuff is happening, I try not to dwell on it. It's just
You strike me as a person that wants to stay more on the ground level when it comes to something like this rather than go to like the office or go somewhere where you have to be disconnected from the people.
yeah, no, exactly. It's different seeing a name on a paper to seeing a name with a face. It kind of brings it more real, like this is a person and not just a check in the box.
Yeah, plus when you get into that CEO position, I believe only some people are meant to do that, and obviously that's why
Yeah.
they're chosen for it. But I believe they're the wrong people though.
Oh, it
Because
happens all the time.
I
All the
don't know
time.
how many times I've worked somewhere for so long and I've been like, I could do the supervising position so much better because I will be in the shit with these people.
Mm-hmm.
I've known what it's like to work from the bottom up, and I know that you have to be involved. You have to figure out what's going on. You have to look at the crucial stuff because you start seeing things change. You start seeing things get replaced or get fixed or get added on. You're like, that's not the problem. This is the problem. This is what we should be working on, but you're not paying attention to it.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. the VA has a habit of hiring people that doesn't have prior experience in whatever we do. So they don't like to hire from within. They'll hire from the outside and then like have them catch up while they're in the supervisor position, and it makes things like 20 times worse because they have no idea what we're talking about, and it's just kind of like, well, can I just have your job since I already know everything? Like this is how it should work, but the VA doesn't do that.
Now, is this something that you want to keep on doing for a while? Like, we talked about like, you're a war veteran yourself, or you're a
Hmm.
military personnel yourself. So when it comes to the factor of, do you want to keep this going? Like, what was your influence to get started into this? Even a lot of people that come back from war don't ever really want to be associated with it around it.
Yeah, I don't really see myself working in the future with this. My wife and I started a hot sauce company, and I wanted to focus like a lot of like more on like a veteran-owned company that would reach out and do kind of like donations or do some kind of charity work with the company. And I feel like I'd be able to reach out to more veterans, given my VA background, to provide them almost as like an advisor to benefits without being like specially linked to the VA. It's like, hey, here's some secrets that could help you get what you need without having to like call the operator, press 7, press 1, press 9, wait 5 hours, and then do the process all over again.
Well, how'd you
So,
come to the conclusion to develop hot sauce?
oh, I don't want to like badmouth the company. I'm not going to. It's just we
Tabasco,
read.
call them out. Call them
No,
out.
no, I don't mind Tabasco. If you like the whole vinegary thing.
The only
Um,
reason you buy Tabasco is because it's cheap and it has a guy with a sombrero on the front.
you're not wrong.
I
You're
know.
not wrong. Um, but we were at a local kind of brew fest out here, and there was a guy working like a hot sauce stand, and my wife was waiting. She was the line. There was no one else, and she was waiting to buy some of the hot sauces. But the guy at the counter was talking to his like snowboarding bros, and they were just kind of broing it up. And then instead of like asking what she wanted, he just gave her like a sample chip with some sauce on it, and she was like, "I want to buy something." So it was that customer service was like, "Well, fuck that guy. I could make my own hot sauce." And so we started doing it, and then I brought it to work, and everyone was like, "You should. This is really good. You should start your own company." And I was like, "Hey, honey, you want to start our own company?" She was like, "Yeah, sure." I'm like, "All right, cool. We're starting our own company. Let's do this." So it really escalated from we went 0 to 60 and like real fucking quick.
And it's crazy too because you would think that hot sauce would be the worst thing you'd want to give to a person with PTSD.
You would think so, but it takes their mind off of it. They're like,
Yeah,
instead
because
of
their
focusing.
mouth's on fucking fire. They're like,
Exactly.
my brain's not hurting anymore right now. It's just my asshole."
Yeah, kind of. And hot sauce is the community. It's a very like small niche community. So for people that can almost provides like a secondary support. Like you get into hot sauce, and then like once we started our company, we had a bunch of people just kind of like reaching out, like, hey, we're trying to form this hot sauce community to help out. And I reached out with a guy, I think they're called Dash 10 Hot Sauce. He's a veteran as well, and we were kind of trying to work together to help a community of veterans through like the hot sauces we make, and really provide an extra layer of support and help them reach out.
Now, how do you develop your hot sauce? Take me through your process a
Oh
little bit.
man, it was fun. I grew up cooking, but I never when I was like I have a real big passion for it. And growing up, I was like, well, I've seen people do their passion and then just completely hate it working. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to lose that spark, that passion. So I told myself, I'm never going to go into cooking, never. So I just did it on my downtime. I always cook. I always cook at home. Since I'm home before my wife, I'll do most of the meals. She'll cook weekends. But when I was kind of looking through like my resources and all my ingredients, I didn't want to steal from another company, or I didn't want to steal their ideas. So I did just a lot of. I just went to the store, bought like $100 worth of ingredients, and I just started like eating them and seeing, okay, oh this tomato works well with this peach, and all these other like similar ingredients and what would pair well, and a lot of research online. And it was just kind of piecing it together like a puzzle. Like you're blind and you're just kind of feeling the table for what pieces. But it worked out. We got some real good flavors, and it was just a lot of wasted materials because it was a lot of experimentations. And I was like, oh, that was a bad batch, and I would have to toss it, and it was kind of a little bit heartbreaking. But that's just kind of the nature of the hot sauce beast.
Now, with just kind of looking at hot sauce a little bit more,
Yeah,
I'm a hot sauce fanatic.
nice.
Would you
About to
say
send
the
you some.
biggest thing is advertising?
Oh God, yeah. It's I have a degree in marketing and I'm working on my master's towards it. And so having that background has allowed me to focus on more marketing and getting the word out. And it's especially when you're starting from ground one, like ground zero, you you don't really have like a fan base. Like it's like you have to get your social media, you have to get your website going, you have to, pay for advertisement, you have to make sure you're Google certified to get onto the Google page, because you don't just get on it naturally through Google. You have to pay them, and they're like, okay, we'll put you on the list to get you onto the search bar. And I was like,
You
oh,
got to pay a photographer to make sure you get a good picture of it. You got to do all
yeah,
these things. But when it comes to hot sauce, like two
mhm,
angry cats, either is a
yeah,
really good hot sauce or a bad porno. So
hey,
if you find with a lot of different hot sauces, you'll start to look at the name kind of sells the product, and
hmm,
obviously the label that is on the bottle. If you get something that's like basic, and then you get like that's the name of the hot sauce, and then you get like a blank label, you look at it, you're
oh,
like, that's probably really hot. It's so
yeah,
bland that it's got to be something you're going to grab, or it's
exactly,
got to be so dramatic and so eye-catching that you see it, you're like, whoa, devil's dick, this must be a hot one, you know what I mean?
yeah, no, totally get that. There's because when it's a very plain label, it's they didn't focus on the label, they focus on the hot sauce, so you expect to have a higher quality of hot sauce. But when you see a very like artistic, out of the like out of the ordinary, it's that uniqueness that you're
You
like,
should have dropped the show there, damn it, good job. No, I'm just kidding.
and we're done. Uh, yeah, so it's like the label, because essentially, you're not tasting the hot sauce first. You're looking at the label, and that's what sells you. Like it's kind of with anything, any kind of item, like a video game. You're gonna look at the cover. You're gonna look at the artwork before you actually buy the video game. So it's all about looks, then taste. So you don't see people cracking open bottles of beer at the aisle just to take a sip, then putting it back. Like, I don't like that beer. Better have another one.
Now, when you're finding essential things, just with kind of tasting hot sauces, how many hot sauces have you bought that have
Oh
really kind of
God.
expanded your flavor out? Like, I mean, let's name some of the worst ones I can possibly think of are like Tabasco, man. It's hot, but it's like this is customer hot. This is like if you don't
Yeah.
really have a hot sense meter, if you don't have a pain meter,
It's
I
a
mean,
good baseline.
yeah.
It's a good starting point.
But then like I've had the last dab too
Oh
from
yeah, is that I haven't had that yet.
it's not hot.
Really?
I'm one. What's really weird is I can handle a really extreme hot stuff and really extremely sour stuff.
Okay.
So like when it comes to sour stuff, for instance, my there's a thing called forgot what it's called, sour onions. I don't know if you've ever heard of this.
Sour onions.
They take onions and they put them in a jar of vinegar and have them ferment for like a
Oh,
couple days.
that sounds great. Actually, I'm not gonna lie.
So it's so sour. Like my dad, I kind of introduced me to it. He peels them like potato chips and puts them in his mouth, and he starts sweating. And I call it crying, but he calls it sweating from his eyes.
Yeah, that makes sense because I'm not crying. You're crying.
I bite right into it like an apple. I mean, I'm
That's ballsy.
yeah, and but when it comes to hot stuff, so my buddy took the last dab and he's like, dude, this sauce is really hot. He tips a little dab on his finger and puts his mouth, and immediately he's not a sensitive guy when it comes to hot stuff, but he starts like freaking out. He's like, oh my god, this is too hot, I can't breathe and all this stuff, and gets the hiccups and everything. And I
Oh, the
just look
worst.
at it. I killed that bottle in 2 days. The only
Damn.
painful part about it was when I went to go to the bathroom.
It looked the same way going in, coming out.
It hurt more than hell. It was one of those moments where you take your shirt off and you grab the towel in front of you and you pray to
Oh,
God you
yeah,
get
that's
through
the
it.
worst.
Yeah.
The
Well,
worst.
the ones that make you work for it.
Oh yeah, I mean that's great going in, but you just know. So you have to like calculate how much you actually eat, and you're like, oh, is this gonna look bad coming out? The answer is always yes.
We call those moments shit the shower.
Just gonna waffle stomp it down the drain.
But I mean, with a lot of different hot sauces, though, I like stuff of extreme heat, but I've never really found anything. Like I dump hot sauces on all the things, but not
Hmm.
only when you start just dumping hot sauce and everything. I mean, I eat constantly salads, so I'm always looking to change up the flavor profile.
Okay.
But I start seeing different designs and different types of hot sauces too, and really kind of judging the hotness in a way. How do you tend to come across a hot sauce where you typically enjoy it? Do you care more about the enjoyment factor, or do you care more about the, I guess, the hotness of it?
Really depends. Uh, like if someone says they made a really hot sauce, like I want to try it. I want to call them out on the bullshit if it's not, and I've come across a couple of those. But if we look on our sauces have a more flavor profile. Like the heat's there, but we're not out to like shit the shower or anything. So we want to add something that would go well adding it to food, and so that's how we find other sauces as well. That are they good with something, or am I just eating this as to like just to burn my mouth? So it's kind of taken.
What's the typical flavor profile are we talking about here? Like, what do you try and incorporate into your different sauces? What's your range of flavors? Are we talking about? We got the habanero. I saw one that had like a mix of like it's called hot cheese, and
Oh God.
it was called the monkey ball or something that they used in hot
Oh
ones.
yes, I've
Yeah,
seen those.
it's pretty
Those
good.
always intrigue me. Is it I always like I looked at it in the store. I'm like, well, I don't know if I want to get that.
That's a weird thing because like hot sauce, just trying to describe like what does that taste like? It tastes like hot sauce. It's like, well, what's hot sauce taste like? I don't know, like pepper, I guess. Whatever. But it's like there's Tabasco. I've had that, and I have a wide variety of like I got for like Christmas or something. I'll get like a giant like 24 pack of these different flavors of hot sauce,
Okay,
like
I think
from
I know what you're talking about. They kind of have like they're not really like known. It's like a generic thing, isn't it?
yeah, it's like hot sauces from around the world. This one's from Italy,
Yeah.
and it's called like pasta di giorno. And then you eat it, and you're like, this doesn't taste anything like Chef Boy Ravardi.
How dare you? These aren't spaghettios.
But like looking even more to them, I got all of Gordon Ramsay's sauces, and I think one of the most interesting ones I've had, they have a ghost pepper sauce. It's not that hot, but they have
Yeah.
one sauce that's mixed with soy sauce. It's called Asian soy hot sauce, and that's literally the brand of it. Just has a dragon on the front, typical kind of anything you would see with the soy bottle, but it's like black. So I put it on my salad and everything. It was really, really good. Had a nice tangy flavor to it.
Nice. I always see every time I see the soy sauce ones, my mind always goes to marinade, because there's a couple of soy sauce ones that are just all you taste is soy. It's like bam, instant soy in your mouth, and it can be a little off-putting. So every time I see them, I use it as marinade for like barbecue or for like a stew.
So you choose based on the types of foods you would put it on, I would say?
Yes, exactly. That's how we kind of base everything off. Like I have one of our phantom sauce is a kind of ghost pepper, um, like a brown salsa type of thing, and it's good with like I add it to like tomato bisque and like all my stews. Like after it's done cooking, I'll like put like 2 spoonfuls in there and just like brings out all the flavors because we have like onions, tomatillos, tomatoes in it, and it kind of pairs well with a lot of things. So that's kind of like how we base our sauces and like what goes well with what. It's
So what do you find typically goes well with what? Like what goes good with fish? I'm a big fish guy.
okay, perfect. We have one. It's called the Mr. Miyagi. It's kind of like the play on Mr.
I see
Miyagi.
what you did there. You
Yeah. It's
fly
a
little devil.
oh you. It's a like pineapple cilantro heavy. So if you like pineapple and cilantro, that's like it's a,
That's perfect, man. You know what I boil my fish with? I boil it with some pineapple. Sometimes I grill it
oh,
with some pineapple. It's amazing.
ooh, yes, as that is a good combination. This would go well. We always like put on our fish tacos, or the whole because we were designing it when that controversy of pineapples don't go on pizza like online battle thing that was going on, and so we're like, well, we think pineapple goes amazing on pizza, so let's make a pineapple hot sauce so people can be like, oh yeah, I'm putting hot sauce on my pizza, and it's actually just pineapple, and it does have like some heat, but it's an enjoyable heat. So which out of the hot sauces you got, what is your favorite one?
I've had the wide variety of hot sauces, so I can't. I really like something super, super hot, but at occasional at times, like, you got a preference based on whatever you're feeling that day.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm shitting my brains out all day, I'm like, I definitely don't want something that's gonna, it mess up my stomach even
Yeah.
more. I mean, the fact is, if I go to the doctor's and he tells me I have a stomach ulcer from hot sauce, I wouldn't be surprised. But when it comes to what's a good one, I like something with a little bit of tang, a little bit too. I like a little bit of tropical flavor, but I like it to be spicy enough to where I have to get a drink of water. If I don't kill a water while I'm eating my food, then it's not worth it.
Water is actually the worst thing you could do while eating hot sauces.
Yeah, I'll stick with it.
If you like dark chocolate works.
They say milk too, but milk never did it. See, I had
Milk never does to me either.
I had an experience. All right, so I'm gonna ask you this because it's a good question for you. When it comes to the hottest thing or the hottest memory you've ever had trying something, what would it be?
Oh God, I have a buddy at the VA, and he's like immune to hot sauce. Anything hot, he'll just like scoop full. I'm like, homie, dude, you better calm down. And so I got some Carolina Reapers from the guy who created them, down in it's like a Pucker Butt Pepper Company down in North Carolina, and I got a couple of fresh ones, and so we was at work, we just ate one each. I could not work for the rest of the day. I was just sweating, I was hurting, and it was the worst decision I have made in a long time. And I think I actually called home sick because I just couldn't concentrate. It's kind of like one of those things where you get up really fast and you kind of get like the black and white like pin needles in your eyes.
I've never had that before.
You never had that? You never like?
You might be having a stroke.
Oh, maybe I was having mini strokes, but something like that. Yeah, it was pretty rough, and I would never do it again.
Me and my buddy ate the ghost peppers that you cook with, like the ones the dry peppers in a bag.
Yes.
We ate I ate a full length one, like the size of a
God.
water bottle. And
oh God.
I was like, this isn't hot. And then like 10 minutes later, like I feel it working down my throat into my like stomach. And for like 8 hours, dude, my whole like I had to drive home like a couple hours later at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm driving and I'm like trying to slow down and stay in cruise control because the whole concept of I was in so much pain that I was like hitting my foot on the gas and everything. Like I was doing that. And I was like, I'm going to get pulled over. It goes from like 35 to 40 to 25. It's like I just got to stay one speed limit and hope nobody pulls me over. Dude, I get home, I feel this thing working all the way into my lower part of my intestines, so your lower part of your stomach. I could feel it just burning the wall, and I felt
God.
it just every inch of it just going bam, bam, bam. And then finally, like the next day, like I remember it was in the morning, my dad had to go to work, and I was just like, I gotta get this out. And he's like, are you all right? I'm like, just go to work. You don't get a shower today, man.
Oh God. Oh God. That just sounds like, if I'm gonna do something hot like that, and I know like it's gonna be hot, like I'm gonna do it in the safety of my own home because
it's stupid because I have so many people that go, dude, you're just an idiot. Like, why would you do that? And I'm like, have you ever done anything crazy with a hot sauce? And they're like, oh, no, nothing like that. I'm like, you've never just experimented, did a challenge with your friends, or just tried something super hot where you tried too much and you were kind of screwed? And they said, well, yeah, I have. I was like, yes, it's a thing. Back in, like, for me, I might have been a little bit more of an idiot about it. Me and my friend did shots of hot sauce. We played like a drinking game with hot sauce.
yep, I've seen that. I've seen people do those.
I don't know what's so popular about wanting to why these videos get popular is because you want to see somebody in pain. I don't know why, but that's why you watch them. Admit it. Same reason why you watch probably NASCAR for the crash. You don't want anybody hurt.
Exactly. You just need that action. You need that kind of that adrenaline rush, that thrill. And you laugh at other people. I do that at work all the time, but just to laugh at them.
Does this ever kind of make you want to experience like other like food challenges? I know when I was getting really into like the hot foods and all this type of stuff, like, oh, I can handle this, I can handle that. I really wanted to look around like 30-second wings or something where people are like, if you can finish these wings in 30 minutes or something, next thing you know, you get a free t-shirt and you get your name on the wall and stuff.
Yeah, like the Buffalo Wild Wings challenge. It's not that bad.
Now, so what types of experiences have you tried going to any of these? Or have you tried looking in your area to maybe try and expand your flavor profile a little bit?
Oh yeah. I tried that Buffalo Wild Wings challenge. It's like eat their 5 or 10 of their hottest wings. It's not that bad. You got to eat it real fast, but you're gonna be on the toilet for the rest of the day. So just keep that in mind. We tried that. Have you heard of the ghost pepper like Pocky one chip challenge? Like it's literally one chip that comes in a bag.
I've never heard of that one.
Oh, really? Oh, it's pretty much just a chip that's just like slathered in like a Carolina Reaper powder. It's pretty hot. I mean, it's not as like advertised. Everyone's like dying. Like it's. I didn't think it was too bad, but I had someone in the office was just like sweating bullets from like the corner of the chip. So it really depends.
Now we say that like what goes good with fish. Now what goes good with the chip though? You got to think that a lot of people when they use hot sauce, it does go on like
Hmm.
tortilla chips or something.
Yeah, it's that's what we made one. That's kind of a salsa, but it's not. Salsa's usually like real chunky, like real thick cuts of tomatoes, and we kind of have one that's there's like they're smaller, closer to pureed, but it's still a little bit thick, and it's we use it as like a nice like getting into hot sauce type of thing, and yeah,
Like
people usually put that.
dip your toes.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like this is kind of what we're about. Get an understanding of like the flavors we create, and for people who are like, oh, I don't do hot sauce. I'm like, oh, we'll try this. It's not too hot, but it's gonna remind you of a salsa, so it's gonna ease you into it.
It's gonna like carry you and slowly rock you to sleep rather than
Yeah,
just drop you off a cliff.
exactly. It's the hug your tongue. We're not here to like force its way down your throat.
Well, what's one food that always is good with hot sauce?
Oh, that's one food that's always good with hot sauce. I mean, you can't
Chili.
go wrong. Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Chili, stews, anything that's real hearty. I mean, tacos, any kind of tacos. You can't go wrong with hot. We can't go wrong with that.
I see. I think like when it comes to the marketing aspect of hot sauce, like you got to have a good logo. You got to have a good thing. I mean,
Oh yeah.
but I swear, man, there's something about hot sauce that is just it brings a memory a lot of in my head. Like I mean, every time I try a hot sauce or something, I always immediately think of watching the Baltimore Ravens with my dad eating chili.
Yeah.
That whole experience, or going to like a Mexican restaurant and they have the bottle there or something, and you're just hanging
Hmm.
out with your family. All those good experiences. What's one memorable experience you have with hot sauce?
Oh, one good memorable experience.
I'm guessing
Um.
probably starting the company with your wife, but if you had one that
Well.
maybe from when you were a kid or something.
Uh. When I was in the Marines, we would come back from like a month long, training expedition. I'm covered in dirt. We There was this local like burrito place that they just had this thing called the California burrito. It's usually like carne asada with fries, sour cream, and avocado or guacamole. And they kind of started my love for Valentino, and I would just slather it on there. But to be able to sit down, you're covered in dirt, you haven't showered in like a month, and you're just eating this burrito with like a nice warm hot sauce. It was just kind of like that. It was always a good memory, just kind of hanging out with all my bros, just eating away, knowing that we're all fucking like dead tired, we're all starving, but just that moment of just bliss and just kind of like a holy like as you're eating the hot sauce and the burrito was just like the best part, and then to do it again in like the following week. So,
Like when you make your hot sauce too, are you getting all fresh ingredients to put into it?
oh yeah, we try to do like local, like we go to farmers markets, when they're open, but they're only open from like March to November, so we get decent sized window. But during these winter months, we're like just dry. We Unless like someone really wants an order or something, we would go to like Safeway or Costco and get them like that. But we always try like no canned, no added sugar, no like added preservatives like a xanthan gum or like a thickening thing. But yeah, we always try to keep it local. We feel like that's kind of like the best. And as for a marketing aspect, people like it when it's like, oh, it's a local flavor. This is where it's all coming from. You're supporting local business. People eat the shit out of that. And so that was kind of was like a win-win situation, supporting local business as a local business and reaching out to the people that like the idea of supporting a local business.
Now, a lot of when people create something, they kind of create up a story that goes behind it too, whether it was during the experience that they were having. How do you typically name your hot sauces?
um I try to name it off of like a play of what the pepper is. So we have it's called a sweet cherry bomb. It's the pepper is the cherry bomb pepper, kind of looks like a little firecracker, like the cherry bomb fireworks. You've seen the people drop in the toilet, blow up the toilet type of thing.
I used to throw them in people's mailboxes.
Exactly. So you know exactly. It looks just like that. A little red thing with a green stem.
Kid stuff, damn it.
Yeah. How dare they? Juveniles. And then we have the Mr. Miyagi. That's kind of had like a little tropical because of the pineapple. So it's like, and Mr. Miyagi, his character is from Okinawa, which is the southern island of Japan. So it's very tropical island. And it was just the ahi pepper is what we use. So I was just like, the Mr. Miyagi, boom, done. And then we have the Phantom sauce, which is a play off of Ghost and Phantom are kind of similar spectral beings. So there's that one. Then Grimm's Delight is our dessert hot sauce using the Carolina Reaper pepper. So like the Grim Reaper and the Reaper, So kind of, I always try to incorporate the name of the pepper into our bottle names, just so it kind of have a little fun play on it. And people are like, oh, I get it. I get that reference.
All right. Well, you know what, Josh? We're gonna do this time. We're gonna create a hot sauce.
Oh, I am so down. Let's do this.
How will we start? You got to take me through the process. I'll think of some ideas.
Okay, yeah. Is there a pepper that you want to use? That's always like the baseline that I start with.
What's the let's see, there's obviously the common pepper that everyone wants to buy is habanero or
Yeah.
jalapeno pepper, but I want
Mm-hmm.
something that's a little bit rare and kind of hot. But I don't want to
Rare.
go ghost pepper or Carolina Reaper because that's what everyone goes off of.
Mm-hmm. All right. There's the scorpion pepper, which is right below the Carolina Reaper, real hot, real flavorful. Then there's the Naga pepper, that's right below scorpion. Not a lot of people use the Naga because it's kind of harder to find, but it comes from I think India or somewhere in Asia. So you got to get that exported over here, and not a lot of people will grow it.
Well, let's do the Naga one because
Do it Naga.
I'm always the underdog type guy.
All right, that works. I'm all for that. All right, what kind of like, so your hot sauces? Do you like the thicker like sriracha type of hot sauce, or do you like something with a little more like texture and girth to it?
I like the sriracha style type stuff only
Okay.
because I don't want it to be like water when I put it on my salad.
Gotcha. Yep. No, I feel you. I feel you on that one. All right. So Naga. See. All right. And what's your flavor profile? Like, what do you like to eat? Like, or rather, what are you looking to put on? Like what food are you looking to put this on?
I'm looking to put it on maybe like some chicken, some vegetables. Obviously, I want it to be kind of like a little bit of a tangy taste, but I don't
Okay.
want it to. I don't want it to be like so tangy where it just tastes like you're eating like a fruit pop or something. I want it to be
Gotcha.
like to the point where like it's still spicy, gives you that kick.
Okay. Well, the Naga pepper, we'll do that. I would suggest we use a Naga pepper and a habanero because habanero has a sweeter tendency, but we'll get the flavor from the habanero, and we'll get the heat from the Naga because they'll go well with each other. So we'll go more sweet.
But they always bring in the factor dry roasted. Does that really judge the taste of a different
It's
sauce if you use a drier pepper?
I think when you use a dry pepper, you're really getting the full heat because it's not diluted through any kind of liquid. There's no like vinegar in it. You're just getting straight up, the peppers and whatever other like drier ingredients you got. Because usually when you have dry rubs, you don't add in like vegetables or any other thing. It's usually just like the peppers you're using and maybe a little bit of salt, maybe in some like black pepper.
Dude, perfect. If we mix in a spice with the sauce, we could use cumin.
Oh, I love cumin.
Yeah, it makes it
Cumin is
taste like
the
Taco
beef.
Bell.
Yes. I always add cumin to like any kind of my stews because it gives it I think it enhances the meat flavor. Like it really brings it out. So cumin would be a nice, oh man.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna go ahead and patent these ideas and we're gonna
if you make this sauce, just give me a little bit of credit or put my face on the side of the bottle.
just big old flaming face. We could do that. Could work with that.
I'm down. I'll be the first person to test that sucker out too.
Oh yeah, we'll send you. We'll definitely send you.
So we
Let's
mix
see.
cumin in there, and
Mhm.
then I'm trying to think of if we were gonna go tangy. Like I want to add like a maybe a fruit or something that's not super strong to where it overpowers it, but gives you that little bit of zest.
Starfruit is good.
That's the one that's shaped like a star, right? Or the spiky one.
Yeah, it's kind of hence the name Starfruit.
Yeah,
Uh,
I don't know. It's like looking at a pineapple. Like I don't know how it could be so sharp but taste so good.
it Starfruit has a um, it has a real quick sweet taste to it, good crunch.
What happens if we added like a citrus flavor to it?
Citrus.
Like how many
mean-
people incorporate oranges or try to like doing that into their
Ooh, an
hot
orange
sauce?
one, like a very gotta get your vitamin C with every teaspoon.
Exactly.
That would work.
And it helps your immune system out too.
Exactly, it's healthy. We're looking at Whole Foods right now. Ooh,
Stay away from vegan though. I'm not gonna go there yet.
no. Well, I mean, technically, like all hot sauces are essentially vegan unless you're adding butter to it, like a buffalo sauce.
Okay.
Just just saying.
That's a helpful advice I never knew. I didn't know I was eating vegan when I drink a bottle of hot sauce.
Look at you. You're already being proactive without even thinking about it.
I'm a healthy individual.
You got a whole closet full of hot sauces, vegan hot sauces.
So then how is that enough to make a sauce just with those simple things? Or do
Oh,
we need
yeah.
more?
No, garlic is always a good additive.
Wait, can we add blueberries in there as well?
Oh yeah, whatever the fuck you want to it.
Alright.
Blueberry and citrus. Gives you a good combination.
It's a battle flavor, I would call it. Like the
A battle
blueberry
flavor.
citrus flavors will kind of combine into each other because they're two things that are on two sides of the spectrum. One, you got the blueberry with the sweetness, and then with citrus, you got a little bit of the sour, acidic side to it. So they would complement it.
Also, the citrus helps with the pH level of the hot sauce, so it'll last longer on your shelf or in the fridge.
We definitely want to add more blueberries than oranges, though.
Yes.
Because the whole factor is you want it to be sweet at first and then have that kick
Mhm.
of sour at the end.
Yeah, blueberries will do that because blueberries is actually kind of a thicker fruit too, just because like the pulp itself. So that would be good because it will definitely not overpower, but like be more prominent over a citrus.
Yeah, I started to notice like I cook fish, and when I'm cooking fish, I'll dump cayenne pepper on top of it.
Ooh, love cayenne pepper.
And I'll take a little orange slice or something and squeeze it like how you would with a lemon, and that really enriches the flavor of the
Yes,
food.
it's good. No, citrus, you can never really go wrong. We
Okay,
usually add it.
So if we put all that into a hot sauce, now
Mhm.
we bottle it up. How are we designing our bottle label? Because that's the main thing.
Okay, you said something like a battle. So we can be like the battle line where it's kind of like we can have like the oranges with habaneros and then the blueberries with the naga peppers kind of like characterize like kind of charging at each other like very Confederate, Civil War style.
Mm. What about battle for heat?
I can like that. I
Ah,
like that. It's kind of like when they do like fighting matches, they call it or like WWE matches where it's like what do they call it? Like,
Royal
it's
Rumbles.
like Battle of the Cages or like yes, do something
Well,
like that.
It's crazy because we call it battle of heat. We can take the
Mhm.
ghost pepper, and then we could take the other pepper, the naga pepper that we added in it, and we could say that they're battling for flavor control.
I can dig that. You can
Mm.
because you have like the two fruits like on a rope on the top, and they're just sitting there in the ring, just duking it out.
I like it. We already
Yes.
got the design of the bottle there.
We're done here. Someone get on this. Someone artistically.
Now, how are we going to catch the audience? How are we going to get them besides the label when they grab it? And a lot of what makes a good hot sauce is when you're reading that label and you see the story behind it, you see how it's created. It's like, how would we describe it? See, it would have to be like brewed in the hills of Tibetan mountains where lions range and tigers roar. We come across a sauce that was crafted by God himself, or just Morgan Freeman.
Morgan Freeman just in the hello there.
I've seen him in more movies of God than I think I've
Oh
seen.
yeah, he's got that nice, smooth, deeper voice. Oh, he could lull me to sleep every night.
It's like the Doritos commercial with Mountain Dew when they had.
That's my favorite. That is Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, that was
Oh God,
perfect
loved it.
branding for hot sauce.
That is.
Or not
We
hot
get
sauce,
those.
Doritos.
Yeah, that was. I had that on video and replay. My wife hated me. She's like, stop playing it. I'm like, this is amazing. Peter Dinklage and Morgan Freeman, get out of here.
I really hope you wrote down our sauce, because that's a
I
beautiful idea.
I got a good memory. It's one
Now-
of my good tricks.
Would you say that with the hot sauce, do you think it's going to become more of a thing, even though a lot of people always bring up the medical factor behind it? Like people always talk about the medical benefits of eating hot sauce, even though it's slightly true. Some of it's a little bit, obscured, but a
Yeah.
lot of people you're seeing that are becoming more health conscious and healthy eaters, honestly, it seems like it's going to keep on becoming a thing. It's going to keep on becoming more of a culture. You're seeing a lot of people make their own hot sauces now, but
Yeah.
people always bring up the health risks like, you're eating too much hot sauce, it could cause these stomach problems. It's like, yeah, but it also makes your food that you're trying to eat that you don't like, and you're sitting there like salivating over some dude doing food reviews, it makes it taste like something so you can actually enjoy it.
No, exactly. Like people are already doing shots of apple cider vinegar. So I mean, why can't you just do shots of hot sauce? Because it has vinegar in it. You have the apple cider vinegar like in there, so it's just like a nice additive to it. People when I brought the hot sauce to work, people would come in and they would use it in replacement of their coffee to kind of keep them awake because you get that heat and you get the intense, so your body's like ready to go. It's good like you'd use it before going to the gym. You get your body warmed up like a pre-workout.
Yeah,
It'd
except
be better
without all
for
the
you too.
without all the after effects of drinking a
Yeah.
whole bottle of pre-workout. You just chuck a bottle of hot sauce.
Yes, about hot sauce. It's better for you. You got vegetables, you got like some fruits in there. You're done. Easy.
Now, what would our sauce go good on, though, is what we got to think.
Oh, okay. So we have blackberry, or was it blackberry or blueberry?
Blueberry.
Blueberry. Oh,
Honestly,
blueberry.
blackberry might be better.
In my head, I was thinking blackberry because I do like blackberry over blueberry.
Let's do blackberry then. Let's do blackberry.
Okay, so we have the hearty sweet from the Naga, and we have the blueberry and a little bit of citrus. Pork.
Pork?
Yeah, pork's got a lighter meat flavor, so it would definitely go. Or steak.
Oh,
See,
okay.
a steak, or kind of like a hearty stew because of the meat is very very heavy. That the blueberry it tends to have like a darker sweet flavor, and so it would pair well with like a steak tacos or like a fajita, or even just like like cut up steak instead of like a was it uh man what the fuck do you put on steaks?
Hot or A1 sauce?
Yes, yes. It'd be kind of like that, where it's got like a thicker, especially if we make it more of like a sriracha style, where it'll stick to the meat better than it would if it was just like a salsa.
When you typically judge or look at a hot sauce, just being
Hmm.
involved in making your own in general, you probably have a whole bunch of knowledge that a lot of people don't judge when they come to eating a hot sauce.
Yeah.
What do you typically start with first? I feel like besides looking at the bottle or something, when you're looking at the taste of it, like, do you look at the first initial taste or the consistency of how it applies onto the food that you're putting it on?
I think consistency is a huge factor because a lot of people will just put hot sauce on anything, but they want to have that hot sauce be the same on everything. So consistency is always the number one. So we always try it on different kinds of foods just to see, but of course, it'll pair differently with different foods, but to have the consistent flavor of the hot sauce is always a big key. Initial taste is good, but I'll do a follow-up taste to see if it kind of remains the same. That like, will it still give my mouth that same like burn? And I don't like initial burns. I'm not about that because then that just overpowers any flavor. So if it has a nice throat burn, that's when you know you have a really good hot sauce. So it's like it gets you to warm the back of your mouth rather than overloading your tongue.
Yeah, you want to be able to taste things for the rest of the night, not be able just to like completely dull out your meal.
Yeah, exactly. I look for something that I can add to it rather than something that can overpower something. And then I'm just kind of like struggling for the next 10 minutes looking like a mouth breather. I'm just like, just dying.
What would you typically suggest in just hot sauce in general when people are trying it, like trying one of your sauces? What do you
Hmm.
typically try and sell them to?
Um, our sauces are not challenge sauces. We use them for people that don't normally do hot sauces. They're like, a hot sauce is just like it's Tabasco or it's sriracha. It's too hot for me. And so we're like, well, there's different varieties. So we kind of use our sauces as to show people that, hey, there's more than one type of hot sauce out there. Like, let me introduce you to what we got. And so they'll have that and they're like, oh, this hot sauce isn't bad. And I'm like, exactly. There's you can't just judge all hot sauces based on, the most popular hot sauces.
Yeah, I definitely think when it comes to this idea in general, I think doing something like this probably has created more of a passion in your heart for something too, because not only just the look you get from people when they try your sauce, but the amount of comments, the amount of kind of work that you put into it and watching it really develop into something.
No, I totally agree. It's always, no matter how many times we like share our sauces, it's always very heartwarming. It's always like knowing that we're doing um, something good. That's something that what we're creating is what people love, and people are like, "Oh, this is amazing! Like I tried it on this. Like this is real good." Like we are Grimm's Delight. Someone tried it on vanilla ice cream,
I heard
and
about that. That sounds like putting
oh,
ranch on pizza, man. I don't know
it
about it.
no. First off, ranch on pizza is awesome. Don't knock that. But it's the because our Grimm's Delight, it has strawberries and basil, which are go really great with creamy desserts. And so you'll get that flavor first with your ice cream, but then you'll get a warming sensation in the back of your throat, so it won't overpower. And the whole ice cream has the cream, so it kind of like it evens it out a little bit, so you're not getting an overpowering heat. You're enjoying the ride, is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know about the ranch on pizza thing though. You got me
I
thinking
don't.
a little bit differently about our business venture.
Well, you know what? You're gonna just have to suck it up
Do
because
you
I'm
put
putting the
ketchup on
ranch.
your eggs as well?
Fuck no, that's
All right.
gross.
Thank you.
Jeez,
Thank
I'm not a
you.
child.
God, Baltimore people, what are you doing? My family's from there, and all they do is put ketchup on their eggs, and I
That's
swear I just want to
they
vomit.
they probably put ketchup on everything, and that's wrong.
That's a thing too. You know King syrup?
Yes,
Do you like that?
I know of it. I haven't had it.
I wasted a whole thing of waffles thinking it was like Buttersworth. I went to my grandparents' house in Baltimore. They had King syrup. I was like, oh, it's just syrup. I dump it all over my food. Then I go and take a bite. I'm like, no,
Nope. Way too
no.
sweet.
I was like, this is terrible. Where's the Buttersworth? They're like, you understand this is way more expensive and this is a lot better. I'm like, this tastes like nothing. It tastes like cough medicine. I want to be able to
Mmm.
enjoy my food rather than die from it, unless
Well,
it's hot sauce.
then then you want to die from it, and but that's a good kind of dying.
Exactly. It's the one that makes you pray to God when you get in those sweats on the toilet.
Exactly. You're just kind of like, I'll never do this again, and then the devil on your shoulder is like, you should do this again. This was a great. Don't remember that experience. That was a fluke. Like,
That's
oh, you're
one
right.
that's one thing hot sauce does to you too. It's like it puts you in that like you've ever seen Hot Ones when they're answering the questions.
I love
It
hot ones.
it puts them in a critical state to where they get so vulnerable with the questions they answer honestly. Like you don't have your guard up
Hmm.
anymore. It's like if you hit your head really bad and like you're sitting there like you feel like you're hurting and you can tell and you're trying not to let people know, but it's like when someone asks you something, you're like, yeah, because you're actually in pain. You're like
Yep.
trying to get through it. You're trying to give them the answer, but you can't lie.
We were just talking about that over the weekend too. So that's an interesting. Like, did you see the Shia LaBeouf one
Yeah.
where he was crying? Oh, and just letting it loose like it was a therapy session. I was like, dang.
The best one is like the honest one is probably with Bert Kreischer because he starts eating them and he just starts talking shit on so many people. He had to come out later in so many different podcasts I was listening to. He's like, I talked shit on a Hot Ones interview. I didn't mean it. And it's like, yeah, you did.
This is real you. This isn't fake you. This is hot sauce you. Hot sauce don't lie.
What do you find works well besides dark chocolate with bringing down the
Uh,
hotness factor?
the, my buddy gave me a throat lozenge, and that surprisingly worked. I
Is
wasn't
that
expecting it.
is that because the cooling effect?
Yes, like the mint or like the whatever's in it. Like it was just like you just like suck on it and it's helping you like salivate more. So it's helping you get rid of the capsaicin that's like just chilling on your tongue.
I see. I don't
Yeah,
know. I
so
heard people say milk, and then I saw Gordon Ramsay drinking Pepto Bismol, and I was like, okay, I don't know.
I'd say Pepno because it's like you first off you're cooling your tongue, and then you're preparing your stomach for the onslaught. That is the hot sauce. So I mean, two birds, one stone.
Now, do you want to turn this into a full on business that you kind of thrive off of? Is this
We
something you want to
I
do?
Yeah, we would love to. But we said that if our first year we make $40,000 to $50,000 in revenue in sales, one of us would quit our jobs and focus on that because that would be essentially making more than what one of us is making. So it'd be no reason to kind of stay in the current jobs if we can make this amount doing what we love and with half the work.
Now, what would you do to make your company different from all the rest? You talked about with the veterans. Would you donate
Hmm.
more money to the veterans?
Yeah, we would. I was kind of talking with other veteran-owned like hot sauce companies and other companies, and trying to see once everything gets up and running, once we're kind of all in a good place, that we do like in a charity event, or make outreach programs to for veterans that could reach out to us, since we're not in like a legal capacity working with the government, that we'd be easier to approach. The like, hey, we love your hot sauce, and I'm also having troubles, sleeping at night with my depression. Do you have any something like that? So it'd be the hot sauce is a good like gate opening for a lot of people that they can just kind of slip into a conversation.
I mean, I think that's important too. And I like how you come from a background too of being involved with this, because if you put that definitely in your company as well, like people are going to see that and see that you're not out for yourself or you're not out for doing this. You're out here because you're a man of the people as well.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
when you lose that interpersonal, or I guess that connection that a lot of businesses tend to do when they branch off and do bigger things, you lose the connection and what really makes your company why you started it in the first place.
exactly, and a lot of things that veterans have a problem with is when they try to seek help, they they see that the people that is giving the help aren't veterans, and they instantly think they don't know what I've been through. They don't know what it's like. They can't like kind of understand what they're coming from. So being a veteran, they don't have that excuse. It's like, hey, I'm a veteran too. I know exactly what you've been through. I understand your situation. I'm here to help you. Then they feel like they can open up more because I'm a veteran.
Well, Josh, I really appreciate you coming out and doing the podcast, man.
Of course, hey, thank you for reaching out. It was a very interesting experience and I really enjoyed it.
I want to give you here a minute at the end to kind of promote your content too.
Sure. Yeah, that's great. All right. So you can find us on Facebook at Two Angry Cats, Instagram and Twitter, same thing at Two Angry Cats. We're a fresh new company. If you like local sourced hot sauces, come reach us out, especially if you're in the Vancouver, Washington area. You'll find us in the Esther Short Farmers Market in downtown Vancouver starting March.
Bam. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode of Out of the Blank. And Josh, do you want to sign us off?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is Two Angry Cats and Out of the Blank. And continue to listen for more, and we'll see you all later.
And we're making a hot sauce that's going to blow you out of your seat.
All the hot sauces. What's it? What were we calling it? The
We're going to call it Battle of Sauces.
Battle of Sauces. Look out for it. Boom. Next big thing.
Well, there's a first for everything. I think this is the first time that I've ever really done a podcast and somebody sent me anything from things that we were talking about. Now, we were talking about making a hot sauce. We made a hot sauce in the podcast. And Josh here sent me one a little bit later. So we ended up starting to do another recording of the actual hot sauce that we created, that which I'm going to try on microphone for all of you wonderful people that are into ASMR. I'm going to hopefully not choke and die on it, but let's. Why don't you tell me what's exactly in it? Because I know we talked about some things, but I want to make sure everyone kind of hears it out.
Yeah. So I made 2 batches, and the first one kind of sucked. So the one you got, it's blackberry, oranges, a little bit of cumin. What was it? It's got scorpion pepper, habaneros, and it's made with rice wine vinegar for a little more extra sweetness.
And it kind of gives it like a, I would say, not really a water consistency, but it's like more like an A1 sauce for sure.
Yeah, I wanted to go with something that you really couldn't shake off. Like if you dipped your chip in it, like that should stay in. It's like flubber. It ain't going nowhere.
Now, I know there's a bunch of people that just want to hear me eat a chip. I'm going to try my best professional way to do this, but if you want to fill in anybody about what I should be experiencing while I'm chewing this, we can definitely do that.
Sure.
All right. Well,
walk you through it.
Here it goes. Anything I should be warned about? Like, is it going to be super intense like I like it?
No.
Or is it just going to be good for an audience?
It's going to be the flavor wise, it's really, you're going to get the sweetness first, but then like right after the sweetness ends, you're going to get a good chunk of heat that kind of follows it. So you got to enjoy it for a little bit, and then you kind of got to sit there and think about life decisions.
Now, I do have to ask before I bite into this. Since I did help create this, but you did all the work and I kind of just gave an idea, do I get a piece of maybe like a partner like also made by Out of the Blank.
Yeah, I'm 100% down with that. Just like in partnership with,
And then I get to promote it on my podcast.
of course.
And then you
And
send
you get free. If you like it, you can get as much as you want. So it's kind of a.
Oh, dude, I will promote the shit out of it. Already, I'm smelling it right now, and it's already making my nose run. So I think
It's
that's
good.
a good thing, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's a deceiving smell because it smells good and it tastes good. So maybe not deceiving. Complimentary smell.
Well, I live my life just like I like my bowl of Honey Smacks filled with salmonella. So let's try this out.
Mm. That's a good crunch.
Wow. It's actually really, really easy when you first consume it. I mean, I know so many hot sauces that when you actually try it on the first bite, it already burns your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
This really kind of sits in there and really like you can you can feel the heat for sure. I mean, obviously if you saw what I was sending you this morning when I was dumping
Yeah.
all over my salad. I mean,
That surprised me.
what was surprising about it? The
That
amount
you were
that I
just
used?
you're just like, oh, cayenne pepper, dump the half the bottle into the salad. I was like, oh, okay.
And then dumping it with that ghost pepper sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was enjoyable. I like it. I already killed that bottle, but that's really, really good. Like, you know, that's something that you would like at night at like a nice like party or something like a barbecue, a grill,
Mm-hmm.
because it's not super, super hot at first, but then it builds up. Like I can taste it in my mouth a little bit. It is a little bit, my tongue is a little bit dry now.
Which one? The one you just had or the ghost pepper one?
The one I just had, the one that we created.
Yeah. Okay.
But you can feel the citrus notes to it. You can taste the blackberry to it.
Yeah.
And I think that really, really stands out in the quality sauce. You made something beautiful. I mean, we made something beautiful,
We
but you
did.
did.
We made this beautiful baby, and I'm glad you were there for it.
What are I was there on conception night.
You were.
I was part of the conception.
It takes two to tango.
I like to watch.
Yeah, you do.
When it comes to deciding a name for it, I know we had an idea of what a name to be, but have you thought about anything maybe a little bit different or better?
No, I kind of like. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of forgot what name. I knew it's like something like Battle or like Rumble
Yeah,
or
I can't even remember the exact one. I didn't even listen back to see what it was. I know it was Battle of Flavors or Battle of.
something. Battle of the Heat or
I'm thinking we
something
should,
along that.
if we could include Out of the Blank into the name, but more like or something deep dive into the blank, or like blank slate, like makes it sound like a murder mystery. I have no clue.
Ooh, we could do something with that.
It's
I could work with that.
it's pretty amazing, dude. We got to think of a nice story behind it. I know we were talking about it before, but yeah, I'm gonna have to craft out a story and send it to you. That was amazing, dude. I saw that on my doorstep like 2 o'clock in the morning before going to the gym. I sent you a message, and
Yeah.
I totally forgot about our time difference. And you were like, "Oh yeah, man." I was like, "Dude, get some sleep." You're like, "Dude, it's like 11 here." I'm like, "Oh, it's 2 a.m. here. I'm at the gym."
I'm not even like. I think I went to bed at like midnight last night. I cannot make it past midnight unless it's like I'm playing video games until 5 in the morning. But that's few and far between.
That's the good parts about life. But truly, it is something special. Like I've never actually created a hot sauce before with somebody, and then they actually sent it to me. Dude, you did an amazing job to it. It I look at it and I just want to keep thinking of a name for it because it's just a blank bottle. But
Yeah.
the overall, I mean, amount of time and first of all the taste consistency to it, it's got to be one of your sellers for sure.
Personally, I thought it could add a little bit more orange. I didn't put a lot of orange in there.
It wasn't
Uh,
super strong, I could tell about that, but
yeah.
what
I
really
was.
complemented it was that the fact that heat factor, man. You did something
Hmm.
good there where it slowly comes in, not just hitting you right off the bat. Because I know how many times someone bites into something and they're like, ah, ah, ah,
It's an
like
instant.
it sometimes could ruin a meal.
I like to lower people's guards. With a lot like the flavor, a lot of the sauces kind of has like a easy in, but then like they're like, oh, this isn't bad, and then it's kind of like okay, it's getting a little bit worse.
Oh yeah, you give them the friendship angle first, and then when you're
Yeah,
on
of
top of a
course.
large flight of stairs, you push them down it. I got it.
Exactly. I'm all about
Yeah.
that. That murder aspect.
I like it, man. We're definitely gonna have to keep shooting some ideas on it for sure. I will
Oh,
definitely promote this sauce if yeah, I just get endless bottles of it. Holy shit! I mean,
oh
you
yeah,
know,
no, you'll get as much as you want. Just let me know and we'll send some out to
just until the acid reflux really kicks it up a notch, I
you.
would say.
Oh yeah, it's gotta it can't be all good.
What were you thinking the whole time you were creating this? Were you trying to think of a lot about what we talked about, or were you trying to create something off of what I gave you?
Uh Honestly, I when I was making it, I was kind of it was like I was stress making because when I'm kind of stressed about something, I just make hot sauce. So I was like, you know what? I'm in a stressful mood. Let's make. And I just took whatever we talked about, and I went with it. So it was only the ingredients we talked about. Only thing I changed was the vinegar, uh, because rice wine goes better with fruits because you put rice wine vinegar on like salad and all that because that's like a more of a sweeter and less of a vinegar taste. So it complemented it better while still keeping its preservative abilities.
What would
But yeah, I just
well, what'd you find was the hardest part about making the sauce?
oh god, the blackberries. I was trying to decide how much blackberries I should put in there because I didn't want to put too much to overpower it, but I didn't want to put not enough where it's just like, oh, it's just heat, which is what happened when I made the same one except with blueberries. Didn't put enough blueberries. So it's like you got like a little hint of the blueberry and the rest of it was just like muddled heat. So I was kind of that was the one thing I was just trying to keep in mind.
What would you suggest this would be good for? I'm starting to think it would be good as like a marinade or maybe something to put on
Yes.
like a nice meat when you're cooking it.
hmm I
Um, it's the consistency of it. Like even with the blackberry chunks, I could tell you were very generous on it because you could still see a little bit of the chunks of blackberry. I mean, that's when you could tell a sauce is really hot by its consistency to it.
hmm
When it's too fucking watery, it starts to be like Tabasco where you can just dump a whole bottle down. But
yeah.
this is nice and thick, and literally on your labels it says, "Please shake," like to enjoy
Yeah.
thoroughly. It's like, yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, I've had a couple of our sauces. We've gone through many processes where the we added too much water, so it just kind of started separating. And so I think we've gotten manageable where it doesn't do that anymore. But just because hot sauce does tend to separate, so we're like, oh, you gotta shake it just to make sure. But this one doesn't have separation, which is like something I'm like, hell yeah, so you don't have to shake it.
What would your suggestions be for people looking to try this sauce? Like,
Oh,
what would you say? Would you say if they were interested in extreme heat, or would you say if they were more of looking for a sauce that has a bit of a kick to it?
I think this sauce doesn't have an extreme heat. It burns out real quickly, like maybe a minute. Maybe the heat lasts for a minute. So something you're just kind of looking for a quick like kick when you're in a bite. I tried it on grilled chicken. Great. It's like it was just, I was like, this is it. This is what I wanted on. So I was like,
I can picture it using as like a cocktail sauce too, like for some shrimp or
oh
something.
yes. Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be bomb.
I'm thinking if we're using it for like a good event, like a party outside or something like a barbecue, you could
hmm
easily throw that into a chili, dude.
Oh, oh, by far, yeah. Or even
I,
like if you want to mix it in with your barbecue sauce, because barbecue sauce tends to be just like eh. But if you want a little like kick to it, without ruining the barbecue sauce, I think this would have been a good addition.
yeah, I'm thinking because I had it just on a Tostitos nacho flavored kind of chip, not Doritos, because I'll throw up if I smell Doritos.
Oh, damn,
Um,
really?
I got sick from eating it all the time as a kid, then going to the gym and sweating it out of my skin.
Oh, God.
But
Oh,
it's that it's like I mean, I already you want to talk about the health benefits of hot sauce speeding up your metabolism. I can feel the blood of the gods running through my veins if everybody can understand what I'm saying.
so you don't need pre-workout. Just take like a shot of hot sauce and you're good.
Up the nose too.
Just straight up, just snort it,
Just
funnel it in there.
put a line out on the table, sniff it up, and bam, you're
Oh
ready to go.
God, that would be miserable.
Look,
oh,
I've snorted a sugar packet before. It's not fun.
oh no. Oh God, no. I've seen people do it, and it's just like, you make the best life decisions.
I might have to explain that a little bit more. People, I wasn't trying to get into cocaine. My buddy opened up a McDonald's, one of those sugar packets on our table when we were like 14 years old. And he's like, I dare you to sniff that. And I just threw my head down, sniffed it, and then a minute later, my nose was bleeding. So I'll probably never do cocaine.
I think that's a good deterrent. You know, you start off with sugar, and if you think you can't handle sugar, yeah, don't do cocaine. It's a nice
I
step.
I can feel my brain. Well, I really appreciate you, Josh. At least coming back on to do a quick another recording.
Of
But
course.
seriously, making a sauce, man. Like you're talking about a man of the people. I really appreciate that, and you have definitely got yourself a lifelong customer here. I mean,
Awesome.
definitely, I'm going to promote this, and for sure, I'm going to try and think of a name. Me and you in the next couple of days should be shooting back ideas of some stuff.
Oh yeah.
Um, and yeah, this is amazing, man. And I really appreciate it. And people check out his sauces, check out his site. He gave you the links. Click on them all. I'll put them in the description so everybody can follow this because he is literally one of the two angry cats.
One of the two. The other one's sleeping.
Well, hopefully one day when she wakes up from her cat nap, you like that? You like that? That's a good one.
That was a good one. I like it. I like that play on words.
Put that in your sauce and eat it. That was a crappy reference, but who cares?
Man, we're just going for it.
I'm like a Laffy Taffy rapper. I'll give you a good joke one side, and the other side will be a shitty one. But seriously, I'll maybe hopefully get her on later down the road and
Yeah, of course.
see if we can, do a double podcast because this was truly amazing, and I appreciate you coming back out, Josh.
Oh, of course. Thank you for having me. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm really happy where our sauce went. I think it's something that I'm definitely going to add to our lineup of sauces. Um, yeah, just got to perfect it down, get a label made, and get it tested. But I think it's really going to be a hit. Everyone in my office really loved it. So that's my go-to sign. When people in the office like it, I did something good.
It also feels good too because like I helped create this, like me and you tossing out ideas and stuff. So I'm like, when people start liking it, you're like, I made something good. Like, holy shit, that feeling's got to be just amazing.
It is. It's probably probably one of the most like gratifying feelings because it's when you're new in something or whatever you do, and then you think it's good, but that's you. But when other people start like really complimenting it and saying it's really good, you kind of at first you're like, no, you're just saying that because you're my friend and it's nice. But after people start saying it, like a lot of people, you're like, okay, maybe I do have something here, and it might turn into your new business. It might turn into a new hobby of yours. But it is a good feeling. Yeah. So, like I said, everyone really likes it. So people want it. People want to buy it at work. So
Well,
kudos to you.
thank you. We're definitely going to think of a name for it for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, thanks so much for re listening to this episode of Out of the Blank podcast and stay tuned for our next episode.